Alright, yo guys, what's up? I'm back with another part of What If Deku Had Venom, part 4, I think. And it's hot right now, so if I pause out of nowhere, then I'm sorry. I had to take a break or something because the fan is extremely loud when it's turned on, and I don't want that going inside the background. So yeah, um it's kind of the main reason why I didn't upload yesterday either, but I think this is the third time me trying to do this, but yeah, okay. Let me just go ahead and let me go ahead and get on with the video. Yeah, you guys have been wanting this one. So last part where I left off was the USJ that happened, and Deku bit off, or Venom, I guess he bit off the lower half of Shigaraki, so that happened. But I also asked what ability should I give Venom and Deku from One for All, because I gave him that and asked you guys what I should do, and I got a few ideas. So, I don't bother. Yeah. So let me just go ahead and read them off. So the quirk, One for All. Deku has the original One for All, the same as canon, um, which is all right. And then Venom also has One for All because he's like part Deku as well. So he also gains new abilities. His abilities are he can create little pawn symbiotes that take form of Deku, and Deku can control them. So the symbiotes, how they look like Deku, they're basically Deku, but they're full on black and they have white eyes, just pure white eyes. So kind of like a shadow, I guess. And whenever a piece of venom attaches to someone and goes back to Deku, he gains the quirk and abilities that it has. So Deku can modify the quirks he gets. To explain, say he takes Bakio's quirk, right? He takes his exclusive quirk. I can't speak, but wants to only use the explosion resistance. He can do that. So basically, he's a god, and oh yeah, it doesn't take his actual quirk. It makes a perfect copy of it. So it's just, yeah. And then with Deku being able to obtain quirks, he can give the copies to the symbiotes as well, the same as the Nomu would be. And he can do it instantly without with only using a thought. So he doesn't have to take a long process. So yeah, he's kind of broken. But yeah, now let me get on to the actual story. So during the break, One for All finally appeared the day after the USJ attack, and Venom was the only one that, I mean, Venom was the one that said something, felt different about them. And Deku made it to an abandoned beach that he found looking around because Venom said that the forest and building were it was getting too depressing for them. Their life is starting to turn around, making them always win. So, Deku makes it, and Venom tells Deku that he feels stronger, and he also feels that Deku has a massive amount of hidden power in him. So Deku instantly knew it was One for All, and he was giving off his smirk afterwards. So he just clapped his hands once and said that they're gonna be there for a while. And during the first week, Deku already found out about One for All affecting him and all of Venom's abilities basically because he's smart. So the way he found out the copy quirk, I'm gonna say, was because after he hugged his mom, when she came home from work, he started to see things floating in his room, and he quickly controlled it because remember, this boy is on Shikamaru levels of IQ. I made him incredibly smart in this one. So during the second week, because there was a 2 week break, during the second one, I'm gonna say All Might came to the beach and ran into Deku, and the beach was completely cleaned already because Deku just, he was punching, he was just destroying the trash, as little dummies, I guess. And All Might wasn't expecting Deku to be there yet or at all, and asked if One for All showed up yet, just talking with him. And Deku said yeah and showed off his full cowling. So his full cowling looked kind of different than in canon because the lightning is still green, but it also has like a dark purple added to it, and a little bit of black slime rises up as if like it's trying to form into Venom, but it's not. And the pupils in his eyes were like gone, making them like completely white. Like that's only for show though. Like it's not in like it's just showing off he's in full cow. So One for All also affects Venom as well, as I said already, and that's kind of like why he's merged with Deku while in full cow, because it's like a fusion of the two. They got that Patara fusion, but no, we ain't bringing up Dragon Ball in this one. But Deku was already strong, but now at this point, I'm gonna assume he's just stronger than All Might in his prime by a long shot. So he can also do 100%, but his body still gets damaged. I'm gonna go with, and that's when Venom comes in and heals him like Eri did during like his fight with Overhaul. But Deku made it a goal that he will use like the quirk without hurting his body, just in case anything happens to Venom. Like I'm gonna make it so he's still like working up to master it on his own. But All Might was impressed by by Deku and asked if like anything else happened to his quirk. And Deku goes over the symbiote pawns, but not the copy ability, because nah, he ain't saying that. Alright, I gotta take a drink. I have no water, so I have some milk. I have milk. Hey, I didn't even realize that, yo, MILKGANG. Whoever doesn't watch the streams, though, they have no idea what MILKGANG is, and it's the best. Man, yeah. If you want to know what MILKGANG is, it's literally you just have to watch the stream. It's basically just like a name for you guys, I guess, whoever subscribes. But yeah, no one cares about that. Let me just continue on. So, yeah, like he doesn't explain the copy ability, and All Might questions the pawn, and Deku just like summons one by reaching out his arm and sending like a kind of like a pile of black slime out to the ground, and when it forms, it looks like Deku, but it's like the shadow version of him, and he stands still like waiting for a command from Deku, and Deku told him that he can control it, and shows All Might by sending like another clone symbiote to like fight it. So the symbiotes are like a little bit stronger than the Nomu shown in the USJ, which that is extremely strong, because I'm pretty sure they said in the manga like that was like one of the top strongest Nomus, other than the one that fought Endeavor, I think. What was it called? The high end Nomu. Yeah, that's what it's called. So they're stronger than that, which is insane. And Deku, hmm, yeah, so they fought, and after Deku like shows off basically what his abilities are, All Might looks at him saying that he's just surprised by how fast he learned all the abilities of One for All. And the day ends, making like the next day of school start up because the 2 weeks are over. And when Deku walks in, Venom instantly attaches like a small piece of himself to everyone and comes back to Deku. So he just gained all 3 quirks. But after like they all come back, there was 10 minutes before class started, so Deku just decided to work with the other quirks that he just got. Um, and plus like some that he was like getting along the way to school. So everyone was talking with each other, and then Froppy like told him to look at Deku. They seen him like in full cowl, but they don't know it's One for All because no one knows that. And he has small glowing lights around him as well. I'm gonna say the glowing lights were the quirks, because I mean quirks should look cool, shouldn't they? But yeah, so he's also at like 5%, so the appearance isn't too insane, because if it was 100%, nah, it would look basically he's turning into Venom. That's basically what it is. I think, oh shoot, should I make it 100% should look like the picture? Hmm. Ah, screw it. Yeah, 100% looks like the pictures. All right, well my thing just paused, but I caught it in time. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna make 100% look like the picture. That's just that's just what's gonna be. And Yeah, so he's at 5% though, so it doesn't look like too out of normal. His eyes are still like, gone though. Like they're just pure white. So Todoroki was watching the entire time thinking of ways to kill Deku because he's Todoroki. And I'm gonna say Bakugo just kept getting like angrier as he sat with like Kirishima trying to like think of what Deku's thinking about because Deku's always thinking. And like I don't know, he's just Bakugo knows that he's really intelligent. So Momo, Uraka, and Froppy came up to Deku's desk and asked him like what was he doing. And Deku knew that they were just gonna like continue questioning him, so he just replied by saying like he's testing a small theory with his quirk. And Froppy asked how, but Deku said that he knows there's more potential to his quirk, the same as like they also do. So Froppy, she shuts up. She's done. Like she understands what Deku's trying to explain basically. And Momo asked like how is he trying to find out though? So Deku says like he fully doesn't know yet, which is a lie. Like he knows completely. Um Hold on, let me feed my turtle real quick. He keeps on looking at this stuff. Hold on. Alright, there we go. I fed him. There, yeah. I fed him earlier, but I guess he just wants more. But yeah. Let me try and find out where I was because that just ruined where my spot was. Let me see. So Froppy, stick. Yeah. So Froppy just shut up, and Momo asked like, how is he going to? Uh, Deku lies, and yeah, he just says that he has to like he has to mess with the quirk, and clearly since he's in like the state he's in, he's getting somewhere. So I'm gonna say Uraraka only watches, which makes Deku like slightly question what she's thinking. And they all leave him be, but Uraraka sits in the chair next to him. I'm gonna say, like trying to hide her face a bit because she is nervous, and she just looks at the transformation Deku's in and like what he's doing with the glowing lights. So Deku looks over and asks like, "What's up?" Remembering that she's not bad like Bakugo or Todoroki. So she jumps, making her face go red, and quickly says like nothing. She's just like a bit curious about what the glowing lights are and his appearance. So Deku says like it's probably just his quirk, and he gets back to doing his experiments. So honestly, a few minutes go by, and actually no, the 10 minutes are up. I'm gonna say, and Aizawa comes in like and telling everyone about the sports festival. So Deku gets out of full cow, sending like the quirk-filled slime into his body, and asks Venom for Aizawa, kind of like smirking at the idea a bit. And Venom laughs, saying like he's on it. So Deku's been waiting for this somewhat godly quirk that he's about to possess because Aizawa he has the quirk erasing quirk, so that Deku can modify it as well. So it's just amazing. So, Aizawa continues on talking without noticing Venom, and Venom makes it back, telling Deku that he's got it. So Deku says thanks in his head and decides to like work on them later. And Aizawa says that like the sports festival will happen in a few days, so they better train if they don't want to like look like idiots. Because Aizawa is cool like that. He's just the best teacher. I think I had like one teacher that was like Aizawa, and he was just the best. But nah. Let me see. So Deku thinks that there's like no point of him training, but then realizes that he gets to fight Bakugo and Todoroki later on. So that's a plus to it. And Venom asks Deku like if he's going to kill them, and Deku just quietly chuckles, saying, "Nah, not anytime soon, at least." So the next few days passed by, and everyone was training like the entire time, while Deku was experimenting with more of the quirks he picked up. And Deku, at this point, he doesn't even have to be out to gain like quirks. He can continue working while pieces of Venom like come back. with copied quirks. And the day came when they were being like transported to the festival, and Uraka like asked Deku if like his little experiments with his quirk like worked out, and Deku looked at her with a smile, saying like it all went good or well, and he just keeps discovering more and more about it. And she asked how, but he softly laughed, saying like, it's a surprise as they walk in the stadium. Like he's gonna show off, basically is what he's saying. Like he's gonna make sure he shows off. But they all made it, and Midnight explained like the overall reason of the festival, and like asked Deku to come give a speech because he did get number one place in the um entrance exam. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they based it. So yeah, but, Deku was walking up, and Venom just told Deku to be bold about it. Like whatever he's about to say, make sure to be bold. Like just don't care. Like nah. So Deku spoke into the mic, saying that he's just gonna win, but at least like let him test out his abilities from his training, and then walked off. So the students booed at him, but 1A thought it was cool, except for Bakio and Todoroki, of course. You know, they were both half and half with it. Actually, no, not Todoroki. Todoroki doesn't care. Bakio was like kind of half and half with it because he would have said the exact same thing. Midnight announces like the race, and everyone gets ready. So Deku gets in like a running position and tells them to like not keep him waiting. And they all get like confused, and President Mike says go. So a mini shockwave appeared, making like some of the participants fall backwards, and everyone watching was confused, but then seeing Deku at the finish line already. Like he was already sitting there. So President Mike didn't know what to say about that, and Deku just used one for all. I'm gonna say like the way how he made it was he used one for all and made it to the finish line with one step at 45%. I want to say. I'm gonna say 45%. So his leg got damaged, but not as much, and Venom just healed it. So a few minutes later, Bakio and Todoroki like came to see Deku standing, looking at the crowd of people, and Bakio angrily walked up to Deku. But before he could like do anything, Deku just lifted his arm and told Bakio to back down, like still looking at the crowd. And Bakio said to like shut up and asked like what type of power did he get. So Deku like just didn't say anything, and it made Bakio more upset and walked off. So Deku during that whole time, I'm gonna say, was getting everyone's quirk without them even knowing. Like the whole time he was looking at the crowd, Venom just sent out little pieces of himself and gained everyone's quirk. So Deku just got a whole stadium's worth of just random quirks that he can now use. So yeah, that's something. And he just quietly laughed like the entire time while he was doing it, and everyone else also like slowly started to like make it, and the challenge ended. I mean, the challenge ended. So Midnight told everyone like about the horse chariot next, and said that Deku has 1 million points or 10 million points. I don't remember. I think it was 1 million. Yeah. I think so. So Deku looked around and seen everyone like looking, trying to intimidate him. So he just looked at them with a cold glare, and his eyes faded, like his faded green eyes, of course, because that's like his second trademark, or third. Yeah, it's his third trademark. So they all instantly got shivers and looked away. So Venom said like they're all just weaklings now compared to him, because like it's true, like Deku's just immortal. And Midnight tells everyone to like look for teams, and they go. And Deku like already assumed that nobody was gonna like want to team up with him, so he was just ready to like summon symbiotes. But then Uraraka showed up, sort of nervous because she doesn't know how to approach him. And she's basically the Hinata of the story. I want to put it so. Yeah, Deku put his arms back down, and like she asked if she can join him, and he pauses and then says like, why not? And then Mei Hatsume, or is it Mei Hatsume? So Mei, uh, yeah, Mei. I just went blank for a second. Yeah, Mei showed up. So before Deku could like say anything, Uraka said like that's okay if she joins, making Momo also want to join in. So like Deku wasn't expecting like three people to instantly try and join. So he said yeah sure, but that's it. And Deku could sense someone looking at him. And Venom told him it was Tokuyami from his class. So Deku said like he knows since when Deku got his quirk, he didn't really know what to do with it because yeah, Deku did get Tokuyami's quirk, which was Dark Shadow, but he just didn't know what to do. And Deku turned and like stared at him. But Tokuyami just walked away to Todoroki's team instead. And Momo asked like what was the plan, and Mei brought up her babies or gadgets, whatever. So Deku looked at them and said like he doesn't see a reason for them, but he'll show them off just for her. Remembering like he's like whenever he meets people, he's neutral with them until they turn into a Bakugo. Then he just wants to kill them. So yeah, like he's not that evil. He just doesn't like people like Bakugo. So Uraraka and Momo just glare at Mei, and all you can hear was stare. Bro, okay, nah. Um, because basically Deku's like, yeah, sure, I'll do anything for you, and they didn't like that. So Mei, only caring for her gadgets, questioned like why they're looking at her like that, and Midnight was about to say go, but Deku like looked at his teammates, asking like, how is this gonna work? So they get into position with Deku on top, and Midnight says go, like with Todoroki instantly trying to go for Deku. I need to take another drink. I feel like if you watch these videos, you need to have a drink with you. I don't know why. The only time I'm this thirsty is when I'm recording. So clearly, that means something's wrong with me. I don't know. So he looks at Todoroki with like his eyes, faded green eyes, and smirks like mouthing the words "not yet." And Todoroki gets like a chill down his spine, but Deku tells Mei to show off her gadgets. So they fly off, and Todoroki's team is asking what's Plan B, because that was Plan A. They were just planning on taking out Deku. So a minute goes by, and Mei is done showing off her gadgets. So she thanks Deku and says that if any of them need anything for their costumes, like make sure they come to her first. And they took the offer, and other teams like tried to attack them, but Deku just easily took care of them within seconds. So I'm gonna say the entire time Deku was like taking out the others, Bakugo was like watching from a distance, trying to take notes of Deku's like skills and abilities because he knows that he's gonna fight him. And the game ended with Deku getting down from the horse thing, and Mei said thanks again and took off like instantly. So Momo said thanks for the easy win, and then asked like how does his hero costume work, or like how does his quirk work? A quirk work. I'm so dumb. Okay, no. It's not funny, man. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I laugh at the dumbest things, bro. But no. Quirk. But Yeah, so that was like one of the main reasons why she like wanted to join them. And Deku looked at her and said like he controls his quirk to take form of a suit that protects him and makes him stronger. Just like how he said before on the bus. Like they already went over this during like before the USJ attack. And Momo said okay and like tries to think of something else to ask him, but Uraka charms in and said they better get ready before the last little game they do like begins. And Momo nods and walks away, kind of annoyed that Deku like didn't go further in depth with his quirk. So Deku begins to walk away, but then tells Uraka like thanks for getting him out of that, like out of that one, and because he doesn't like sharing his quirk with anyone because it's not even a quirk. Well, I guess one for all is, but Venom's not a quirk, and plus he's trying to be sneaky with it, so he can't have people asking like 24/7 how it is. And Uraka quickly said like it was no problem, and Deku walked away. Like he just continued on his way. So Todoroki followed him, I'm gonna say, because he's a creep, and Deku sensed it. So halfway there, Deku like look, blah. uh, yeah, Deku just like stops and asks like, "What do you want?" So Todoroki pauses and like asked what he thinks of All Might. So Deku turned his head slightly, looking back at and said like, "What? Like, what do you mean by All Might?" And Todoroki said that Deku has been going to different. He's been like going different ways when All Might shows up. Like the first time, it looked like he was about to like, kill him, and then the second time, he seemed alright with him. So Deku turned to like fully face him, and Deku just like looks serious, saying it's none of his business. And Todoroki continued by saying whatever it is. He compares Deku to All Might, which means if he beats him, he technically beats All Might as well. And Venom says in Deku's head, like, asking if he's stupid or something, making Deku laugh. And he tells Todoroki, like, he can't beat him. So what's the point of even trying? What do you want, Turtle? I already fed you. Stop. Oh boy, he wants a fight, but all you can hear is just the scratching. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can. So, um, yeah, where was I at? Yeah, Todoroki gets mad and says like he can beat him any day, like any time. And Deku stops him midway through, asking if he remembers their first fight. And Todoroki pauses, and Deku tells him if he doesn't use his fire, he will keep his promise to making Todoroki clench his fist and walk away. So, Deku just stands there and licks his lips, his second trademark, and walks to the waiting room. So when he makes it, he goes into 5% full cal and starts to work with the quirks he gained, because he gained a lot. And time goes by and Midnight says over the intercom for all the participants to meet up and hear the last little game, or like hear the rules of the last little game that they're about to do. So Deku makes it, and the same happens in canon with the tail guy. I forgot his name. Uh, Oof. Sorry about that one, but and and a few others give up. So Deku looks over to see uh who they were staring at, and like he quickly attaches a piece of venom to him taking his quirk, because he knew that they were looking at him for a reason and they have no idea why. So he was like, ah, screw it, I'll go ahead and do it. So yeah, when it comes back, he looks at what the quirk is, and slightly quietly, ooh, I can't speak for crap. He quietly laughs a bit. Then he says that this is just the best. Like he's getting all the best quirks right now. So Midnight says alright and starts to pair the fights. And Deku's match is called up first, and he sees that he's fighting the hypnotized one, like, you know, the one that he just gained the quirk from. So he walks up, and Midnight says go. You know, Shinso instantly asks Deku if he really thinks he's gonna win, and Deku answers yes, and Shinso gives like a quick laugh. With, you know, Deku just glares back at him and laughs as well. And when Shinso sees Deku laugh, he stops and realizes that Deku isn't hypnotized. So, you know, Venom tells Deku in his head that his theory with quirks worked out because Deku was really testing if like the little quirk manipulation thing worked. Like if he took this part of this, like would he be affected or not? So basically he just countered it and basically tested his whole entire theory. So Deku just continued to laugh, walking over to Shinso, and when he made it, Deku asked like why did he stop laughing? And Shinso uh says like that's impossible. Like how did he not get affected by his quirk? And Deku looks at him and says in the calmest tone possible, because no one can beat me. And then he just punches him out of the ring. So President Mike says Deku won, and he walked out of the arena. And I'm pretty sure, like, I explained it already, but yeah, Deku's just a god. So, I don't know, man. But more fights go on, and I'm gonna just skip to Deku and Todoroki's fight because it's starting to get hot in here, like I already said, and the fan is loud. Hold on, let me try and... This is what it sounds like. Yeah, I can't be having this throughout the entire video. So I ain't gonna lie, that did feel good though. No, I'm good. So yeah, where did I leave off? Yeah. So Deku was like sitting down in his seat with the rest of the class, and he can tell someone's inside the hallway, but he could tell just by sitting next to Uraka that like she's upset about her fight with Bakio, because that still did happen. And when he looks at her, you know, he asked if she's still thinking about her last match, and she looks at him and says, "Yeah, like she's still like she's still annoyed by her performance." And Deku asked her like if she learned anything from that fight, and she got confused. But Deku continued by saying, even though like he hates Bakio's guts to the point where he wants to murder him, he showed off what she's lacking in. And she asks like what is it, and Deku says that it's her overall combat. Like it's she has decent plans, but here let me just explain it. So like he continues by saying her plan was good, but it didn't work out, and then she started to panic, throwing random attacks at the end. So she nodded and said like that she knows what he's trying to say basically. So Deku smiles and says that after the festival is over, maybe he can like show her a few moves, maybe. And she turns bright red and looks at the ground like nodding, like yeah, sure, yeah. And Venom just laughs and says that he can feel Deku's hormones, you know, acting up. So Deku just tells Venom to shut up, and then he gets called down for the next fight. So yeah, I just wanted to get that in because yeah. So he gets up out of his seat, or yeah, wait, yeah, he gets called down for the next fight. So he gets up out of his seat and jumps over the edge of the balcony, and Deku just does multiple flips in the air and swings himself to the side of the arena. And he lands like a Marvel hero because, you know, he's stunting for the gram. So people watching are thinking, they seen that and are thinking so far that he's earned the right to do that. So Todoroki just walks out and heads for the arena, and Deku turns, like looking at him, grinning, of course. And Todoroki gets annoyed, and Midnight asks like if they were both ready. So they both nod, and Midnight says go. And Todoroki instantly tries to use his ice, but Deku tells Todoroki like across the arena that he's not even worth fighting if he's not going to use his other quirk. So, Todoroki just says to shut up, and Deku puts out his arm to the side, making a pile of black slime come out. And everyone wonders like what it is, and then the pile starts to form, and it becomes a symbiote. So, basically, Todoroki gets confused and aims the ice attack at the symbiote because he doesn't know what it is. And before it hits, the symbiote lights its body in fire, kind of like an aura surrounding itself, and the fire burns the entire attack. But Todoroki instantly knows that whatever he's fighting is going to be like trouble. So Venom just tells Deku that he didn't have to go that far and make him fight his own quirk, sarcastically of course. And Deku says like it's either that or he breaks his left arm. So, Venom says, or his right arm. I forgot. Was it left or I think it was left. I think I said left. So basically getting rid of his fire just in general. So, Venom says he doesn't care as long as it's entertaining. And a good 3 minutes go on with a very intense fight between Todoroki and the symbiote, and Deku finally says like to stop and retracts the symbiote into his hand. So Todoroki is like breathing heavily and is about to pass out, but Deku asks him like if he's going to use his other quirk. And Todoroki just slowly says to shut up again, and Deku says that's it. So he just nods up quickly, like real fast, and a bit of like, just a bit, and black chains strap around Todoroki. So he begins to struggle, but Deku walks up and looks at him in the face. And Midnight is asking if like they should end it, and Aizawa says like to hang on because he wants to see like how it's gonna turn out because Aizawa doesn't care. So Deku in a straight face asks again like why doesn't he use his other quirk? And Todoroki tries to like spit in Deku's face, but the black slime covers his mouth before it happens. And Deku like continues by saying it's not his dad's quirk, it's his. And Todoroki just looks down, going through his flashback, or I think that's what happens in canon. I'll probably look stupid if it isn't, but honestly, who would remember it? So yeah, so he's going through a flashback, and when it finishes, he looks back up, and Deku tells him he'll give him one more chance to prove himself, and knocks out Todoroki. So like he can see that Todoroki is like not bad, like he's not a bad person. He just has a past that he needs to like make peace with, kind of like how he is as well. And Deku gets announced the winner, but everyone watching is like trying to figure out what Deku's quirk is because they just seen a clone of him, like a clone of himself using a fire ability. So like even All Might is trying to find out like what's going on because Deku didn't tell All Might about the copying ability. And yeah, 10 minutes pass and the final fight is about to begin. So that means my video is almost about to end. So yes, I get to turn on my fan afterwards. But yeah, so Deku was like still standing in the arena, and Bahio like comes storming through, and he makes it like when he makes it, they instantly give hatred expressions to each other. And Midnight asked if like they're ready, and they just begin to fight without her even saying no. So Bakio starts off by rushing in and tries to like land an explosion on Deku, but Deku just blocks it with the slime and spins around going behind Bakio and forms his arm into an axe and strikes at Bakio. So Bakio struggles to dodge the attack because he doesn't have reflexes as fast as Deku. So a large tear is heard when the sharp bit of the blade slices through like his back. Not fully, like to the point where like his guts are coming out, but just a scar basically. And Bakugo screams in pain, but turns around to like throw a flash grenade in Deku's face, and it hits him. So Bakugo takes the chance to attack Deku, And before he can land a hit though, black slime starts to form around Deku's body, and like only where the explosion was hit, of course. And Bakio lands the explosion, but nothing happened. So he gets confused, and Deku looks over at Bakio with like the same look as the picture, basically like with his widened eyes and his grin. So this boy's kind of like creepy now, but the stun grenade is like still active barely, but most people can like see Deku's like face. And Deku just tells Bakio that he's been waiting to attack it, like for this fight for years now. And the first class with All Might, that didn't count. So Bakio gets in a fighting stance again, and Deku activates full cowling 15%. And I'm saying like his progressing with mastering One for All is like much faster than it is in canon. So what he would have had with like 5%, it's 15. So everyone sees Deku's appearance after like the stun grenade and finishes, and Bakio like clenches his fist tighter when he sees the transformation. So Deku looks at Bakio, still having like the same expression as the picture, and Bakio just yells at Deku like asking what is that form, and Deku says like it's a form that hopefully he lives to find out. So after that, Bakio lands or launches himself at Deku and punches him in the face. So Deku doesn't get pushed back that far, because it didn't hurt him. And he does a follow up and does an AP shot autocannon towards Deku. And I would say before they hit him, Deku just swipes the air like casually, and a shockwave makes the explosions like go into thin air. So Deku grins and punches Bakio, making him fly across the arena. And Bakio like struggles to get up, and when he does, he prepares like for his ultimate move. So Deku just stares at Bakio, and then Bakio screams that he will take him out. So he shoots explosions at the ground and yells like howitzer impact, aiming for Deku. So the attack lands and smoke takes over the arena, but when the smoke clears, Deku is seen holding Bakio by the throat, like lifting him off the ground. And Deku just throws him to the ground and starts to like beat him up like brutally. And I would say it gets so intense that the teachers and other pros like try and come in to stop him, but they get thrown out even before they can do anything by like the tentacles whipping him away. And it isn't until All Might comes in and tells Deku to stop, because All Might's fully healed, so he doesn't have to like struggle. And Deku looks at All Might and gets attaching like black slime to Bakio and heals him. So like Bakio was basically bloody, basically looking like he was dead, but Deku just like healed him before he could die. And so Bakio was like passed out at this point, and All Might tells Deku like, "Thanks for listening to him." And 20 minutes go by, and they're like finally ready to announce the top 3 places. So they tried to get some heroes to watch Deku like from all angles, but he looked at them and said no, making them like not do that. Which like even because they were scared of him, and with even if they did, I don't know why I can't speak. It wouldn't have worked. So Deku gets first, Bakio gets second, and Todoroki gets third. And I think I'm gonna leave it off of that, because hopefully this is a long video. If it isn't, then clearly I'm doing something wrong. But yeah, so what's the next arc? Next arc is Stain, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that one should be alright. Yeah. Oh shoot, I'm already thinking of ideas. Oh shoot. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let me just go ahead and get it over with. So, let me know what you guys think of this, like of this part, and also like which what if should I record next, because I don't know which one to do next. I don't even have an idea for the next one. So, you know, for the next video, like what do you guys want to see? And with that out of the way, I guess like anyways, like thanks for watching, and New outro. Let me try and think. Milk Gang out.